Hello! This is my Tractor Safety Practical, and I'm going to show you how to safely drive the William Woods tractor and drag the arena. The first thing we want to do before we even think about getting on the tractor is we're going to check our safety equipment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk all the way around my tractor, and I'm going to make sure that all the tires look like they are well inflated and that there's no people, including small children, animals, possible tools that could damage the tractor or me, and then I'll know that it is safe to get on the tractor. Another thing I want to consider before I get on the tractor is my attire. I don't want to be wearing any clothes that are too baggy or loose because I could snag on the knobs on the tractor and possibly get myself hurt. In order to safely mount the tractor, I'm going to turn around fully and walk up the stairs onto the tractor. I don't want to mount sideways or backwards or not be paying attention to where I'm going. So I will now safely mount the tractor. The first thing I want to think about when I get in the tractor is about whatever attachment I have. So right now I have my arena drag attached. I have it down right now since I'm already in the arena. But when you're moving the tractor in between areas, you don't want to have your drag down on the ground because the drag isn't equipped for footing other than what's in the arena. So if I was out of the arena, like where the tractor is usually parked, I would have my drag up. However, when the tractor is parked, you want to have the drag down so that it's not weighing on the springs of the attachment. In order to turn the tractor on, we have to take a lot of steps that I'm going to explain before I actually turn it on because the tractor makes a lot of noise and I want you to be able to hear me. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put my foot on the brake and all the way down on the clutch. I'm not going to sit on it because I'm not starting it yet. But then I will put my finger on the key, and when I turn it, it's going to beep, and I'm going to let it beep a full cycle before I start it. And at William Woods, before we turn the tractor on, we yell, "Tractor!" and then we start the tractor. What I'm going to show you next is how to put the tractor into forward gear. So I'm going to follow the gear map from park over into first, and you just push it right up into first gear, and that's what we drive it in when we drag the arena. Next, I'm going to put it into forward instead of neutral, so I pull it towards myself, and then I push it forward into forward gear. To go backwards, I would just do the exact opposite. To change the height of your drag, ours is the lever in the middle. I have it in the down position, so I'm just going to lift it all the way up. This is the position we would have it in if we were moving between arenas. And then I'm going to lower it to a dragging depth, which isn't a parked position, which is all the way down, but just enough to drag the arena dirt. Now we're going to start driving the tractor. So I'm going to take my foot all the way off the brake and slowly take it off the clutch in order to move the tractor forward. To stop the tractor, I'll use my foot on the clutch until it slows down, and then I'll step on the brake. In order to correctly drag the arena, we will enter down the middle through the gates. We will continue straight down the middle of the arena until we reach the other end, and then we will turn in any given direction. It doesn't really matter, but I'm going to start clockwise, and I'm going to follow the entirety of the rail until I go just past my center line that I created, and then I'll go all the way up to the other end. I'll continue this until I've dragged the whole arena going clockwise, and then the next time I proceed down the center line, I will continue in the opposite direction. So next we'll go counterclockwise. This is a time lapse of me demonstrating the way that we like to drag the arenas at William Woods, and then I switch directions here in the middle, just as I talked about before. To go faster or slower on the tractor, we use this lever on the side. It has a bunny at the top and a turtle at the bottom. I'm not going to actually move it up to bunny because I don't want it to go faster, but if I wanted to, I would just move it up just like that. Now I'm going to turn the tractor off, which is exactly the same as it was to turn it on, but in reverse order. So I'm going to put the tractor in neutral instead of forward. And then you can see the light right there. And then I'm going to follow the map from first all the way over to park, which can sometimes be tricky, but we get it pretty good there. And then I'm going to keep my feet on both pedals until I turn the tractor all the way off. The next thing that's very important when dismounting the tractor, it's very tempting to stand up from your seat and walk forward, but it's also very easy, since the step is so shallow, to miss and fall flat on your face. So what you want to do when dismounting the tractor is turn around, grab the handle, and slowly go down backwards like a ladder, so that way you don't fall.